fans? Beaumont J BBQ here, self-proclaimed of all barbecue. And today we're talking about the motion picture that defined a generation. Ha! Slumber Party Massacre! Every boy's dream movie. Oh my gosh!
This is the reason to have Cinemax.
Okay, so Slumber Party Massacre. Sounds like total crap, right?
Right.
Well, you're not really wrong. Okay, sometimes you just gotta watch some trash. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you just gotta watch some trash.
Word. I personally watch Mamma Mia at least twice a year.
But this movie is not as bad as you might think. Now, there's 2 sequels. Totally don't watch those. Oh my gosh, not unless you are trying to prepare for like military service and you fear being captured and having to survive torture. If you need to have torture training,
Get out of here, George.
you watch Slumber Party Massacre 2 and 3. Otherwise, Slumber Party Massacre 1 is where it's at. Gosh darn it. It's not as bad as you would think. That don't say, I mean, I don't know if you put that on the movie poster. Slumber Party Massacre, it's not as bad as you would think. Check it out. But yeah, man, if you want to just like have some fun, it's pretty good. So this film, which should get some kind of an award just for the title itself, was made in 1982, and it follows the adventures of a high school senior who gathers a group of her friends to do one last sleepover like they used to do all through their formative growing up years on the same night a power drill-wielding psychomaniac is escaped on the loose on a murderous rampage. How could you say no to that? There's synopsis. I mean, that's the plot, but it's pretty well done, and it's got some cool cinematography, and it's got some funny shots in it, and I'm just like, this, I was not expecting it to be this enjoyable. It was actually very entertaining. It opened with some titties. Champ over there, he went into this movie a boy and came out a man.
What can I say? I like my women like I like my coffee. With big ass titties.
Then there's like some gratuitous ass shots. I mean, there's a locker room scene after a basketball game, and it opens with just the camera low on this lady's backside. She takes off her towel, and you're like, okay, they had to throw that in. But then there's another one, and the camera is panning high, and it's stopped on the back of somebody, and it just pans down to the butt. No real point to it other than to show an ass.
You know, I really don't see why this is so exploitive. It's merely a depiction of the natural human form in all its nubile, soapy butt naturalness.
You gotta just resolve that those things are in there. But then once you get past that and they actually get to the slumber party, there's some more titties, because I guess girls all just get undressed in front of each other. Right?
We can only hope.
And then there's some hooligan nerd boys who are peeking on them through the window. It's pretty inappropriate. Oh, jeez. Okay, so now that I think about it, what you should probably do is just skip the first 25 minutes of this to get past all of that, so you don't get too offended, and then you kind of get into the actual, like, we killing people.
Which in no way would be offensive.
So my favorite character is the new girl who lives across the street with her sister, and they just kind of have like, you know, little chats and banter back and forth, but eventually they have to go and investigate the slumber party because they hear all these screams and there's all these like killings going on unbeknownst to them. The funny scene to me is when they go over there and they don't see no one in the house because everyone's either dead or hiding. The sister opens up the refrigerator and she doesn't look in, she just opens it for a minute and dead girl come out, and then she shut it. What? And then she opened it again, the dead girl almost come out, and then she shut it. You're like, oh my god! And then she finally falls out. But he was clever. I'm just like, wow. Hey, he's got frivolous entertainment and some titties! I'm flipping tit horn. Like on a big old semi, they go honk honk and titties! Maybe that should be on the poster. Slumber Party Massacre. It's not as bad as you think, and it got some titties. I should be a marketer for these schlock movies, don't you, Don? And it has some cool use of slow motion where they go to get the guy with the drill and high school senior girl come flying out. She's like, boom, it's all slow motion. She stabs him. They fight him really good. They fight back. The guy who has the drill he's not like in most of these movies where he wears a mask like Jason of the Voorhees or Frederick R. Krugernis. It's more like he's like Raul Barajas. I mean, he just looked like a whacked out dude with a super long drill, which I think is a phallic symbol.
You think?
Slumber Party Massacre, champ, I mean, what do you think?
Well, let me put it this way. This movie made me go out and buy an extra pause button for my remote. Something tells me that the script for this movie was very efficient. Like, maybe it was just one page, and it read something like, boobs, dead bodies, more boobs, more dead bodies, blood, bonus boobs.
Champ, I wish you grew up in the 80s, son, okay? It's like 80s movies were the best, okay? And 80s horror, they just don't make it like that anymore.
Preach.
So if you're looking for something that's just totally goofy and you're like, man, it's late at night and maybe you're hanging out with some of your homies or it's Halloween, you're like, let's all sit around and watch something that's trashy but not too boring, at least it's entertaining, let's laugh our asses off, man. Slumber Party Massacre, that's the one. Or if you're like a 13-year-old boy and you want to get together with your friends and you're just like, what the man berets look like, because this is new to me, okay? And then you watch Slumber Party Massacre and you sit there in the dark and it's like, well, I don't know what to expect. It's, oh! I love it, John!
Bye, everyone. Go to our store and buy our merch.